Good evening. Tonight we bring you a story that will send shockwaves through the automotive world and touch the lives of countless Americans. In a move that few could have predicted, Volkswagen, the legendary German automaker, has announced its complete departure from the United States market. This isn't just a business decision, it's the end of an era that began over 70 years ago, when the first Beetles rolled onto American soil and captured the hearts of millions. Soon, the familiar VW logo will disappear from dealerships and highways across the country. For generations, Volkswagen cars have been more than just vehicles. They've been symbols of freedom, innovation, and reliability. Now that chapter is closing, leaving behind a legacy cherished by loyal customers and the thousands of workers who built their lives around the brand. The news broke early this morning, sending ripples through the industry. Volkswagen Group has confirmed it will halt all new vehicle sales and manufacturing operations in the U.S. by the end of 2026. This decision marks a dramatic shift, not only for Volkswagen, but for the entire American automotive landscape. This isn't just about one company leaving, it's a foundational change that will impact workers, dealerships, suppliers, and even rival automakers. The ripple effects will be felt in communities across the nation, from bustling cities to small towns where Volkswagen has been a household name for decades. Why is Volkswagen making this move now? What does it mean for the thousands of employees, the dedicated dealers, and the families who have depended on Volkswagen for their livelihoods? The uncertainty is palpable, and the questions are many. Tonight, we'll dive deep into the story behind Volkswagen's American goodbye. We'll explore the company's rich history in the U.S., the reasons behind this monumental decision, and the far-reaching consequences for the industry and the people who helped build it. Stay with us as we unpack the full story, the legacy, and the fallout of Volkswagen's departure from America. To truly grasp Volkswagen's impact on American culture, let's rewind the clock all the way back to 1949. That year, just 2 humble Beetles were sold in the United States. It might not have seemed like much at the time, but those 2 cars quietly sparked a movement that would ripple through generations. The Beetles' quirky design and affordable price made it stand out in a sea of oversized American cars, and soon, it became a symbol of something much bigger. A cultural revolution was brewing. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, the Beetle and the iconic microbus became more than just vehicles. They were rolling emblems of freedom, adventure, and the counterculture spirit. Young people crisscrossed the country in their VWs, chasing dreams and new beginnings, making these cars a part of countless American stories. As decades passed, Volkswagen adapted. Models like the Rabbit and Jetta brought European engineering to American suburbs, making VW a household name for families seeking reliability and style. The brand's reputation for quality and innovation grew, and so did its loyal following. By 2011, Volkswagen doubled down on its American dream, investing over $1 billion to open a state-of-the-art plant in Chattanooga, Tennessee. This bold move created thousands of jobs, boosted the local economy, and signaled VW's commitment to being a true American automaker. With American and VW flags flying side by side, the company cemented its presence in the U.S., aiming to become a permanent fixture in the nation's automotive landscape. But the journey was far from smooth. Challenges and setbacks were always lurking around the corner. In 2015, the Dieselgate scandal erupted, shattering public trust. The revelation that VW had cheated emissions tests sent shockwaves through the industry, costing the company billions and severely damaging its reputation. Despite massive efforts to recover, the shadow of Dieselgate lingered for years, casting doubt on every new promise and innovation. Volkswagen's story in America is a complex tapestry woven from threads of innovation, controversy, and resilience. The company introduced groundbreaking designs and technologies, but also faced fierce criticism and public scrutiny. Now, after decades of highs and lows, that story draws to a close, not with a dramatic finale, but with a quiet corporate retreat as dealerships shutter and employees say their goodbyes. The question remains, was this ending inevitable, or could things have turned out differently? Let's take a closer look and find out together. Why is Volkswagen leaving? It's a perfect storm-low US market share, fierce competition, and disappointing returns on massive investments. VW's US market share hovered at just 2 to 4%, far below its dominance in Europe and China. The costly Chattanooga plant and the push into electric vehicles failed to deliver. Facing unionization efforts and rising labor costs, VW's board chose to cut losses and focus on more profitable markets. The US was labeled a perpetual investment drain. In the end, it was a cold, calculated business decision, one that leaves thousands in limbo. The writing was on the wall. At 7 a.m., Volkswagen's press release was blunt. All US operations will wind down by 2027. New vehicle shipments to 650 dealerships end in 2026. The Chattanooga plant closes December 31, 2026, putting over 4,000 jobs at risk. VW promises to honor warranties and provide parts for a decade, but the sales engine is shutting down. Workers learned the news in all-hands meetings. No answers, just a script and a thank you. Dealers, blindsided, now face catastrophic losses. The National Automobile Dealers Association called it devastating. Shockwaves are rippling through the industry and communities. The human cost is immediate and immense. The nation is reeling. Volkswagen's exit triggers an economic shockwave. The Chattanooga plant's closure threatens not just 4,000 jobs, but tens of thousands more in the supply chain and local businesses. Home values will drop, unemployment will spike, and local economies will suffer. For consumers, fewer choices mean higher car prices and less bargaining power. Used VW values may plummet, while prices for other brands could rise. The debate over foreign investment and tax incentives is reignited. Was it worth it? In Chattanooga, shock and anger fill the air. Workers like David Miller and Brenda Jones feel betrayed, promised a future, now left with uncertainty. Many regret not unionizing, realizing loyalty was no shield against corporate decisions. Dealers, some in business for generations, face ruin as their investments evaporate overnight. Community leaders scramble to respond. The mayor vows support, but the challenge is daunting. The ripple effect hits families, small businesses, and entire neighborhoods. For many, VW was more than a job. It was identity and hope. Now, that's gone. The community must pick up the pieces. The road ahead is steep. In Washington, the news sparks outrage and urgent action. The White House dispatches top officials to Tennessee, while lawmakers demand hearings and threaten trade measures. Both parties blame Volkswagen for abandoning American workers after years of taxpayer support. The UAW points to the crisis as proof of the need for stronger unions. Diplomatic tensions rise, with US officials pressing Germany for answers. The fallout is political, economic, and international. The debate over globalization and corporate loyalty is reignited. The story is far from over. What's next for American drivers? As the dust settles from Volkswagen's dramatic exit, millions of people who rely on their cars for work, family, and daily life are left wondering how the roads, and the vehicles on them, will change. The US auto market is entering a period of transformation, and the choices drivers make today could shape the industry for years to come. Experts say competitors like Hyundai, Kia, and Honda will rush to capture VW's market share, targeting orphaned dealerships and customers. These brands are already ramping up their marketing efforts, offering new incentives, and expanding their lineups to appeal to drivers who once considered Volkswagen. For dealerships left without a brand, the scramble is on to partner with new automakers and keep their doors open. Ford and GM gain breathing room in the EV race, but less competition could mean higher prices for consumers. With one less major player pushing innovation and affordability, the pace of progress may slow, and the cost of going electric could rise. This shift could impact not just new car buyers, but also the broader push toward cleaner transportation. The loss of VW as a price disruptor may push up costs, especially for compact SUVs. These vehicles, once a battleground for affordability and value, could see sticker prices climb as automakers face less pressure to compete. For families and young drivers, finding a budget-friendly option may become more challenging. The Chattanooga plant, though shuttered, is a valuable asset, likely to attract new investment or a startup. But rebuilding will take time. Local leaders are already in talks with potential buyers, hoping to revive jobs and economic activity. However, the transition from one automaker to another is rarely seamless, and uncertainty looms over the plant's future. The transition will be painful for workers and communities. Thousands of employees face layoffs, and small businesses that depended on the plant must adapt or risk closure. The ripple effects will be felt in schools, shops, and neighborhoods across the region. The American auto landscape is changing. Fewer choices, higher prices, and a new era of uncertainty. The industry must adapt. Automakers, dealers, and consumers alike will need to rethink their strategies, whether it's embracing new brands, exploring alternative transportation, or pushing for policy changes to keep cars affordable and accessible. The story of VW in America is over, but the next chapter is just beginning. The end of an era opens the door for innovation, new partnerships, and perhaps the rise of unexpected players in the market. Who will fill the void? As the industry looks ahead, only time will tell which brands will step up and how American drivers will respond to this new automotive reality. Two Beatles in 1949 began a love affair that ends today with empty factories and silent showrooms. Volkswagen's departure is more than a business story. It's the end of a cultural era. Thousands face uncertainty, communities must rebuild, and the nation confronts the harsh realities of globalization. There are no easy answers, only lessons about loyalty, risk, and resilience. The book on Volkswagen in America is closed. A new, uncertain chapter for the auto industry begins. What are your memories of VW? How will this change our roads and communities? Share your thoughts below. Good night.